Hello, madam. My name is Ling Li Chin, metric number 262128. Today, I'm going to present about domestic violence. Domestic violence is a pattern of violence, abuse, or intimidation used to control or maintain power over a partner. There are various forms of domestic violence, including physical violence, emotional violence, psychological violence, sexual violence, social violence, and financial violence. There is rise in number of cases of domestic violence due to the movement control order. The number of domestic violence recorded was 1,893 since the movement control order imposed in Malaysia on March 18. The local authority believes that the main reason for domestic violence to occur is due to the distress faced by the family member due to financial difficulties.
Hi, my name is Anchunke and my metric number is 264462. So I'm here today and going to explain who can help you if you suffer from domestic violence. I'm here to recommend you 5 options. The first one is neighbors. It's because neighbors is the nearest person to you, so if anything happen to you, you can ask for the help and advice. The second one is the Human Aid Organization or WAO. WAO provides shelter and crisis support to victims of domestic violence. The third one is the One-Stop Crisis Center at Government Hospital. It's usually located at the emergency room of Government Hospital. At the OSCC, doctors provide medical treatment for any injury and also collect medical evidence which can be used in the court. The fourth one is the Social Welfare Department or JKM. At JKM, you can obtain an Emergency Protection Order (EPO) to instruct the perpetrator to stop committing acts of violence towards you. And last but not least, police. You may make a police report and apply for an interim protection order (IPO) at the police station. But make sure that you write down all the details of the abuse, such as what happened, when it happened, where it happened, and who was involved. And remember to get a copy of the police report, as the IPO is one of the court documents which prohibit perpetrator from committing abuse and are valid throughout the police investigation.
So I will presenting about the part of the law governing. So actually, the law governing the domestic violence is the Section 2 of the Domestic Violence Act 1994. And this act stated that any incident involving, amongst other, inflicting fear, causing physical harm, compelling threat and force, detaining and confining by one family member to another family member will be classified as domestic violence. And actually, under these sections, there are 3 weapons that are available for the victims, and such as the Emergency Protection Order (EPO), Interim Protection Order (IPO), and Protection Order (PO). And actually, these 3 orders is being used to prohibit the abuser from inflicting any domestic violence to the protected persons. And to get these 3 orders, there are a few conditions to be fulfilled by the victims.
Okay, great. Thanks to Doctor and my fellow friends. My name is Lim Kai Yi, metric number 264795, and I'm here to share the cases of domestic violence which related to MCO. So please allow me to share the screen. Okay, so according to the New Straits Times news on 5th of May, in the 3rd week of April, the Women's Aid Organization (WAO) hotline calls and messages registered a 4-fold increases compared to the typical week in February before the MCO was imposed. And the calls and messages relating to domestic violence and child abuse reaches a new peak every week over the course of the MCO. So the organization had called the government to increase the availability of shelters for domestic violence survivors. We know that actually domestic violence cases are rises within this COVID-19 is not a new thing. We can see this through the news on New Straits Times on 4th of April. So in France, the domestic violence cases increased by 36% since the crisis began. And fortunately, their government willing to pay the victims to stay in hotel. And in Australia, there is a 75 rise in Google searches for help in the aspect of domestic violence cases. And their government has allocated 435 million ringgit for various support initiatives. And in my opinion, to overcome the rises in domestic violence cases within this MCO, government should provide more initiative and also shelters for the victims so that the rises of the domestic cases could be controlled. And that's all for me. Thank you.